Lin-Manuel Miranda's SNL cameo as Alexander Hamilton interrupted by James Austin Johnson's Donald Trump. Tonight's Saturday Night Live cold open had a very special surprise in store for viewers as Lin-Manuel Miranda popped up on screen behind the SNL cast, who were dressed in 1700s attire in a scene of the signing of the Declaration of Independence. Miranda, dressed in his same costuming from the Broadway smash hit Hamilton, stood up from a corner to rapturous applause and said, "I say our lives not matter, not if we lose it in the cause of liberty. What matters is the nation we built. Because in America all men are created equal. In America," spit Miranda, "we will never have a king." James Austin Johnson as Donald Trump appeared on stage with hands open and a smirk on his face and said, "Never say never. I'm in my king era," said Johnson. "Just like my founding fathers, I am creating a new country as well. And just like them, we're doing it very white ly. Workplaces must go back to looking like the TV show The Office. Mostly white people but with one funny black guy who's having a really bad time. We're bringing back Stanley culture." With the 1700s scene frozen behind an animated Johnson as Trump, he said, "Look at Lin. He got tricked into coming here, now he's frozen standing here. Now I'm back at the White House. Everything's back the way it was." Johnson as Trump reflected on his son Barron, calling him "my new favorite son," and commenting on his height and how he smacks his head on everything. He remarked on the inauguration, calling it a tremendous success, and said it was inside, due to cold and fear. "We got a lot of surprise guests like Melania," says Johnson. "That was nice." He noted the presence of billionaire buddies Zuck, Bezos, and of course Elon. "We love Elon, but to quote some of his own children, I do not want him in my life. They say he did the Nazi salute." "Not true," said Johnson. "He simply was creating a new greeting that was a cross between hi and hello." Johnson as Trump went on to share his views about wanting two genders, one to work and one to cook. "We're going back to common sense in regard to gender. No more makeup on men, unless you need it to be president," he said. SNL also poked fun of Trump's newly appointed Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth. "We're filling my cabinet with some of the best people. They're all very good except for most of them. How great is Pete Hegseth? He said he's going to stop drinking if he got the job, and that's all I needed to hear. Look at Lin. Look how bad he wants to do a rap. The audience would have eaten that right up. But we're not gonna hear it," said Johnson, pointing at a frozen Miranda. Johnson riffed a little more on the price of eggs, saying, "Who would have thought it would have been easier to get a ceasefire in Gaza than lower the price of eggs? I want to thank Lin for his generous $1 million donation to my campaign." "I know that was him." "No, it was not," shouted Miranda, who then stood shoulder to shoulder with Johnson, and the pair shouted those famous words, "Live from New York, it's Saturday night." Timothée Chalamet is tonight's host and musical guest.